Hi, this is Denise Matthew. I hope you're doing well. As I mentioned on my August 16th video, I'm changing up the format a little bit just for the month of August because I'm on a mini vacation. So the video is a little bit shorter and I'm going back with an old format that I used just for this month. And everything will be back to normal in the beginning of September. With that said, let's get into the transits. The message is that something needs to be tweaked as you move forward. The status quo just isn't working anymore. And you probably already know where that is in your life and where you know that you need to change something. It's really talking about the idea of being the flow of your life, to align with your body consciousness and to go where your body takes you, because it is the best guide that we have on planet Earth to take us where we need to go for our life purpose and the best outcome that we can experience. It's really easy to get caught up in someone else's ideas and really living your life on somebody else's dreams and goals. But this is saying that the only place you can find the best opportunities for you or the things that you're here to do is in your own flow and to walk your own path. When you're aligning with your own personal truth, also aligns you with the destiny and the success and even the luck that you're meant to automatically have. It will meet you on your journey forward when you're on the right path. So on August 30th, 2023, we have our second full moon of the month, and this is actually called a blue moon. This will be at 7 degrees Pisces. A blue moon generally just means that there are 2 full moons in 1 month. Usually there's only 1 full moon and 1 new moon. It doesn't really have a lot of significance when it comes to astrology or even human design, but I thought I would just throw that in. But there is one significant overlapping theme that showed up in the August 1st full moon as well as this one, and that is the gate 33. Now for the August 1st full moon, that was where the sun was, and now we have Venus in the gate 33. So both of the full moons are bringing this idea of being in solitude, having memories, reminiscing, and spending time with yourself so you can build up the memories of the experiences that you had. So when you go out into the world, you can use what you've learned, enrich the next experience that you have in your life, which seems apt since we have both Mercury and Venus retrograde at the moment. The overall theme that we could say that this full moon is giving us is this idea of hanging out with you and just spending time alone as necessary to recharge and to recalibrate as you prepare to go forward in the future. With the sun in the gate 40 and the moon in the gate 37, we have the activation of a major opposition, and that's going to bring us global willpower, which means that everybody in the world will have this experience of what it feels like to have the willpower that is connected to the emotional center, the solar plexus. So we also have emotional energy that is activated as well. So this is emotional energy for community, coming together as a family, or wanting to be part of a community can all be wrapped in this emotional energy, in that it will mean more for you, especially when we have the moon in the gate 37, which brings this emotional energy connected to the idea of a part seeking a whole. In other words, trying to find the community that matters to you, that you belong to, that you feel as though you can be yourself within. And with the will center, this is going to be connected to money, resources, and the work you do to support those who you love, especially with the gate 40 in play as much as the gate 37 is. So we have the alone gate, the gate 33 that I spoke about a few minutes ago, and we also have the gate 40, which is another alone gate, both activated for this full moon, which really brings in this idea of being alone. The gate 40 is to escape from having to be asked to work or to do something. It's like you hide away because you just want to have your peace away from other people, because you know that if you show up, they're going to ask something of you, and that's why you want to be alone. So it's a different reason for being alone than the gate 33, where you're reminiscing or you're recollecting the experiences that you've had. With Venus going direct on September 1st, this is the last couple of days of alone time, reflection time, doing those moments of kind of being with yourself before it starts to move forward again. Of course, we'll still have Mercury retrograde until the 15th of September. Even so, you probably will feel some difference when Venus does go direct again, because it is every couple of years as a transit. So it's not as common that we're usually feeling into it as we will with Mercury, that's 3 times a year. With the sun in the gate 40 line 2, this is really talking about the idea of being healthy because you take a break from the world, because it's time to recuperate, to regain your energy. In fact, if a hermit energy or the line 2 doesn't get their breaks, they can have burnout, they can have health issues, they can have this inability to cope with the world around them. So it's almost medicinal as opposed to just for like a good time to relax. The sun in the gate 40 also brings this idea of self-worth because it is connected to the will center. And it's talking about this feeling of worthiness, this feeling of doing enough, being enough, having enough. So big themes that can come to the surface when you're sitting in your solitude away from the world. Themes that you can work with healing if they are something that you are working through. But with every second line, we know that there's going to be a call. And what's important to consider is that not every call that you receive is correct for you. So this is where you're discerning between, okay, this person needs my help. This person needs me to go out in the world and do something for them. And that is something that I feel is something I want to do, as opposed to they're just asking again. They're crossing my boundaries and I feel obligated to do something. Now, this is where we're saying, although there are obligations that are in our lives or that are in your life, not everyone is essential. Sometimes you just feel like you have to do something because somebody asked you, and that's usually what you do. And this is saying you have the ability to reconsider where you put your energy at this time especially. And it's a good time to potentially break habits that are not working in your favor. Giving too much energy to other people and not spending enough time working on what you need to work on. This is like looking at somebody else's garden and going in and weeding their whole garden, and yours is full of weeds. So it's about taking care of you as much as you take care of others and bargaining your time because it matters to you. So as much as you may want and need alone time, the knocks on your door may be more persistent than normal. So this is about standing in what you need for your life as opposed to always sort of bending to the will of other people. The moon and earth are in the gate 37 line 2, and this is called responsibility. This is bringing in the theme of dependence on you. Again, building on the same theme that the gate 40 is bringing, is this always calling you to do something because they want something from you. Which, again, responsibility is one thing, but obliging because you feel that it's your job to do, even if you don't really want to, because it's always been done that way, is not necessarily working in the best interest of you. This is also bringing up the theme of those people who are not being responsible for their lives, and in fact are looking to you to be responsible for their lives, to take care of them, or to do things that they can do for themselves because that's always the way it's been done. In other words, if you go out somewhere, you're always the one making all the plans and doing all the things that keep everything together, and yet all these other people that you're potentially working to do this for are basically having fun and not worrying about it at all. And sometimes that's perfectly fine if you're happy to do it. But the other perspective is, are you using your energy on all these other things when you could be using it on things that matter the most to you, that are going to get you closer to where you want to be in your life? So there might be even more people leaning on you for support. And this is where you have the ability to decide where you want to give your support. And sometimes the other perspective is saying no because you just don't have the energy to do it. This is really about encouraging those who can be responsible for themselves to do for themselves, because that's in their best interest. The more independent we are in our lives, the better it is. So when you're fostering that independence, you're fostering something that is a benefit to them and something that will work well for them in the future. It's also giving you back some energy and time that you deserve as well. So as we said, Venus is bringing in this idea of being alone and solitude as well, but it's also bringing something a little bit more special because it is in the sixth line, and there is this potential that is always within the sixth line, but we never really know if it's going to manifest or not, or if it's going to bloom or not, because it's something that requires work and And a lot of times faith that if you take the first step, the universe will open the path to you so you can see what the next step in your life is supposed to be. What Venus in the gate 33 line 6 is really bringing this idea of potential for these transcendent moments to kind of show you the whole meaning of what your life is all about and your position or place in this wide universe, and to see beyond the illusion of what the mundane world is always trying to make us see. It's really about being open to your reflections and where they may take you on their journey. Now, if you have a lot of expectations about how this is going to play out or how your reflections are going to work out, or if you're going to have these transcendent moments, it probably won't work that way. This is about totally letting go and seeing what shows up in your reality, seeing what shows up in your recollections and your reminiscences, and seeing what you're supposed to know, what you have learned, and what tools you have going forward. Mars in the gate 46 line 6 pacing uses the insights that Venus is bringing and aligns and even capitalizes on the idea of shifting things up and trying to get better results, or at least equal results to what you've had before. So in other words, if you're always doing the same thing over and again, it may not give you the opportunity to expand and grow in the future. This is saying lightning doesn't strike twice. So in other words, if you've done something always the same way and you've never shifted, this is saying maybe it's time to shift something up, to change it the way you do things, because if you do, you might have a potential to have a reward or something even better than you had before. Is really asking you to step out of your comfort zone and to do things a little bit different than usual. Well, that's it for the full moon transits. I hope you have a wonderful full moon, and I will be back again soon. Until then, take care and bye for now.